Okay, to all our viewers and our panelists this evening, just a big disclaimer before we introduce our panelists and start the debate. The comment has been expunged. What we are debating is the defense of that statement outside the parliament. Joining us on debate number one is Dr. Sambit Patra of the BJP, is a national spokesperson. Live from Delhi, MR Venkatesh, a policy analyst and a chartered accountant from Delhi studios. Major General J.D. Bakshi, editor of India Military Review, live from Delhi. Questioning the government this evening is Gaurav, Bhatia, National President, Legal Wing and Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and Kunwar Danish, who's a spokesperson and the National Secretary General for the JDS, also live from Delhi this evening. And Alimuddin Khan, political analyst, leans towards the Congress Party. My first question is to you, Alimuddin Khan. What does the crackdown on black money have to do with the sacrifices our army personnel make at the border?
Niranjan ji, army personnel are making sacrifices. They are being martyred on the border, and their families are being martyred in the lines in the banks. Their elders, their sisters, their daughters, their brothers.
I'm sorry to interrupt you this early. Sorry to interrupt you this early. Sorry to interrupt you this early. Alimuddin Khan, sorry. No. You want to take back? You want to take back?
Comes from villages.
Don't loosely use the word martyr. Don't loosely use the word martyr. Alimuddin Khan, I'm not going to heckle you. I want to ask you a short question. Why did you loosely use the word martyr? Yes, lives have been lost. We have questions for the BJP and the government, but don't loosely use the word martyr for every life that's lost. Every life is valuable, but don't loosely use the word martyr.
Ram Kishan Grewal was not martyr. Ram Kishan Grewal was not Fauji.
No, please talk about, I'm asking you a question. Please stick to that question. What does a crackdown on black money have to do with the loss of lives of our soldiers at the border?
Niranjan ji, nobody said this. They said that first the responsible people are who suggested Prime Minister to go to have biryani in Pakistan. Then came Pathankot. Then came Uri.
No.
So those are the people who are responsible for this.
Alimuddin Khan, what's the comparison?
For those things.
What is the comparison, Alimuddin Khan?
Nobody is comparing. Nobody is comparing. Only thing.
Niranjan,
yeah, Sambit Patra will respond to you.
Over here?
Yeah, Sambit, respond to him, and Alimuddin Khan,
nobody is trying to compare anything.
No, we have to understand one thing, that the Congress Party,
but the people are dying in the country.
Now, Mr. Alimuddin, you are losing the debate as well. I'm answering you, sir. Please listen to me very carefully. This is a very sensitive issue. Niranjan, we have to state the fact that Congress is in a habit of humiliating the martyrs and in fact glorifying the terrorists. We have seen in the Uri case itself as to how the senior leader, the senior vice president of Congress Party, none other than Mr. Rahul Gandhi, had gone to the extent of saying this is Khoon ki dalali. Now the other leaders are following suit. In fact, today what was said by Ghulam Nabi Azad, the leader of opposition of the upper house in country's parliament, was in fact a clean certificate to Pakistan. It is not only a humiliation to the martyrs of this country, because he was comparing the martyrs with banking system in the country, but he was saying that no, look, people dying because of terrorism, people dying because of Pakistan's policy is far less than people dying because of Indian policies and the Indian government. And this is a very serious issue when it comes from the leader of opposition.
Alimuddin Khan, you want to respond to what Sambit Patra is saying? Mr. Yes, Sambit Patra, let him respond to that. Just to add to that, yes, Alimuddin Khan, just to add to that, you're a political commentator, your political leanings aside, do you think that comment should have been made? And if it was said once, after the backlash, the Congress should have come out and withdrawn that statement. In your own personal capacity, tell me, do you think it is fair to drag in our soldiers and their sacrifice every time? Just that much. Tell me, what do you think about it?
Tanvi, nobody dragged our soldiers in the politics. It was the BJP.
But today, Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad did, no, Mr. Khan.
Lucknow, and glorifying that we have done surgical strike.
So how was it okay?
They have done surgical strike.
So Mr. Khan,
on the country,
so
on the poor of the people, traders of the people.
How was it okay and all right for all of the other political parties, the opposition, to question the BJP then and claim that they are trying to politicize it? And how is it different today? If you had an objection then, if you had an objection when the surgical strikes were politicized or spoken about and there was fight for credit of claim, if you had an objection when there was a big outrage about one rank, one pension and politics were being played, then how is it acceptable today when Ghulam Nabi Azad raises that attack? Shouldn't it be on the same benchmark, Mr. Khan?
Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad only said that the wrong policies of the BJP is drawing country to that level that people are dying in the due to medical non-facilities.
Okay, I think you don't know the exact quote. Alimuddin Khan, let me give you the exact quote. Okay, listen to the exact quote. This is outside Parliament. Outside Parliament. Sambit, I want to quote Ghulam Nabi Azad, a very senior Congress leader and a parliamentarian who hails from Kashmir. Now, this is for you, Alimuddin Khan, because you tried to quote Ghulam Nabi Azad and you failed because you didn't quote. I want to bring in Major General J.D. Bakshi. Major General J.D. Bakshi, you respond and please tell a soldier's point of view to Alimuddin Khan and all those politicians who loosely use the word martyr, and two, raise the Uri attacks as a comparison. 1 second. This is what Ghulam Nabi Azad said, and I quote, "Now you tell them that 40 people have died. Our enemies haven't killed so many people which were killed by our wrong policies. The government responds by saying, I am comparing this to Pakistan." Now, he's repeating it outside Parliament. In Parliament, it may have been expunged. He did not retract it or apologize. Outside, he says, our enemies haven't killed so many people which were killed by our wrong policies. Major General J.D. Bakshi, the point that you want to make to these political parties tonight.
You know, I am, as a military veteran, deeply distressed. Yaar, ye echo band karo. I'm deeply distressed by the attitude shown towards veterans and soldiers who have lost their lives, laid down their lives on the border. There is a very vicarious pun on the word line. You join a line in a bank for a personal, private purpose of drawing your money, depositing your old notes. When you put your life on the line of control, then I am afraid you are doing it for the cause of the nation. If we cannot draw the distinction between these two and say who is a martyr and who is not, it is extremely distressing to our soldiers as to how does society and especially how do our politicians view us and those of us who are laying their lives on the line for the country. That's number one fact. The second aspect of this argument is, look, you have lost 19 soldiers in Uri. There are 40 people who have died on the line. Did terrorism and Pakistan-sponsored terrorism in this country begin and end with Uri? Have you counted the 80,000 Indian soldiers and citizens who have died since 1980 when terrorism began in the Punjab?
Yeah.
If you really want to make a quantitative comparison, please put into account
so that
those 21,000 citizens who were killed, soldiers and citizens
point accepted,
who were killed in
point
Punjab,
accepted, General Bakshi.
then those
Alimuddin
soldiers
Khan,
and citizens,
maybe you want to respond to what a soldier is saying here, because that is exactly the point, and then we'll go across to our other panelists also. Gaurav, I'll come to you and to Danish Ali also, because I genuinely want to understand from all politicians tonight, if it was not okay when the surgical strike was being trivialized and you all turned around and questioned the BJP then, how is it that you are accepting what has been said by the Congress today? But Alimuddin Khan, what General Bakshi said, do you want to respond to that first?
General Bakshi, nobody is comparing soldiers with the people who died in the country.
Well,
the people who died in the soldiers died for the nation. The people who died in the country because of the economic terrorism of this government.
You're contradicting yourself.
On the arm army of this country.
Alimuddin Khan, you're contradicting yourself. You're saying nobody made the comparison. So first you defended the comparison. Now you're saying nobody made the comparison. Let me repeat what Ghulam Nabi Azad, a very senior Congress leader, said outside Parliament.
No.
This is for you because you said there is a comparison.
The soldier who is sacrificing himself on the border.
Every life is valuable. I just told you, Alimuddin Khan, every life is valuable. Every life is valuable.
We understand.
Every life is valuable. We have relevant questions to the BJP. We have dedicated a debate. Alimuddin Khan, we have dedicated a debate. We have dedicated the entire second debate.
Compare martyred with the people who
Alimuddin Khan, you'll have to listen to me because I have to get the other panelists. If Gaurav Bhatia wants to come in at this point, I want to tell you something. Alimuddin Khan, I want to tell you something. We have questions related. Okay, Gaurav, do you agree with what Ghulam Nabi Azad said, and do you feel he should have retracted when he had a chance outside Parliament?
No, Niranjan, I think it is for the Congress spokesperson to answer. But I would only say that let's not reduce the debate to Congress versus BJP. Because we all know about the misdeeds of the Congress, and the BJP starts quoting the misdeeds of the Congress to seek refuge. I think there is a larger issue that we are discussing today, and I would like to deal with them point by point. First, I think, what is the role of the opposition parties? We all know that this is a fight against corruption and black money, and all political parties, even in the opposition, are supporting the government on that.
Gaurav, we'll come to that. I think Niranjan also just said that. I'm sorry to interrupt here. We'll come to that. Niranjan also clarified there will be a discussion on that. But let's begin with what we've started. And that is the comment that's been made by the leader of opposition in the House and repeated outside. And the entire Congress party is standing by it. Now, just want to understand, where does Samajwadi Party stand on the comment that was made, Gaurav? Because you know what is happening? It just looks like the soldiers are being used like a political football. You know, they can be politics about one rank, one pension, and all netas will go running all over the place for that. What is the need to drag in a soldier's death in this issue? I fail to understand. If you can help me understand.
I'll elaborate on my point.
Yes.
Yeah. Tanvi, I think the valor and the sacrifice of a soldier is not so fragile that a political leader can make a statement and can take away from the sacrifices of a soldier. And that is why I'm saying that soldier's name was even used during surgical strikes when we said, please don't politicize the issue because this is a decision in national interest and we stand with you. I think to give it so much importance that we start discussing only one statement and not the major issue which is being highlighted by us would actually
But these are leaders of a country, Gaurav Bhatia, and they're discussing a very crucial issue. Like
so
you said, there is so much to discuss, to debate, to resolve. I'm agreeing with you. There is so much to discuss and debate and resolve. Then why is it that the leaders are not seeing that point?
I will make a stronger statement. Even if all the political leaders come together and make such a statement, you know, trying to trivialize the sacrifice of a soldier, I think they would not be able to do so, because giving up your life for the country is the supreme sacrifice. And I think leaders don't even come close. So that is why I'm saying, leave that statement aside. It should not have been made. But let's not waste time only over that statement. We are here to discuss the decision of demonetization.
Yes, but Sambit Patra, doesn't that show the intent? But Sambit Patra, doesn't that show the intent of the opposition here? You know, they could have actually come up with more concrete examples rather than quoting this example, which we completely still fail to understand, and nobody is explaining us why was it used in the first place.
No, exactly. I mean, look. No, exactly, and this has a bigger connotation and a larger message. I mean, look, Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad is not an ordinary leader. He's the leader of the opposition, of the largest opposition party of India, and he was speaking from the floor of Parliament. Well, yes, it might have been expunged from the documents of Parliament, from the records of Parliament, but in this modern world, where the television shows every bit of what you speak in the Parliament, it has already been telecasted across the globe. So every country, every person has already stuck to what Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad has said. This demonetization, in fact, is one of the measures to fight against terror funding. And the comparison
I have a few questions for you, Sambit, and you need to answer that.
Way, the oxygenation to terror funding. Just a second.
I ask you a few questions?
I'll answer that. Gaurav, remember, the first debate, Gaurav, to you I'm answering this. Gaurav, listen to me. There are two parts in this debate. The 9 p.m. debate today is on the statements by the opposition parties. The 10 p.m. debate is about the demonetization. So if you please want to ask questions on demonetization, I'm ready to answer that. But you have to wait for the 10 p.m. debate.
No, I think
we are on a debate.
the topic of I don't have to wait.
Sambit,
You know, if the point of discussion does not warrant a discussion, I'm not going to discuss something which is not important for the...
Don't you condemn? Does Samajwadi Party not condemn Ghulam Nabi Azad's statement?
Strongest language
Why don't you condemn that?
Gaurav,
why don't
you have
why don't
beaten
you
around
hear
the
what I
bush.
said?
Gaurav,
You have only beaten around the bush. You have not condemned that.
Around the bush. I made the strongest possible statement to say it was inappropriate for him to make a statement. But at the same time, I'm here to question your misdeeds.
Yeah, Sambit Patra and
Gaurav implemented the scheme.
Sambit Patra and Gaurav Bhatia, just pull back for a minute. Gaurav, pull back for a minute.
Answer the tough questions.
Yeah, Gaurav, pull back for a minute. Gaurav, pull back for a minute. Okay, pull back for a minute. I'm repeating this.
No, I'll answer all the questions.
The fact is, one second, Sambit.
It's a debate between honest and the dishonest.
Sambit, we will have to take this debate forward 1 minute.
Private hospitals, and we have a stubborn government that is not ready to...
Gaurav, you'll also have to accept that the opposition wanted a debate.
500 and 1,000.
Opposition wanted a debate. Opposition has been asking for a debate. Sambit Patra, don't respond. Sambit Patra, don't respond. I want to draw the debate in the right direction, please. 1 second. The opposition wanted a debate. The opposition fought for a demonetization debate. Yes, there was a demonetization debate. And yes, it's important to debate what the leader of opposition said on the floor of the House on the martyrdom of our soldiers. It's relevant that we debate that. And Gaurav, I want to repeat that the entire 10 p.m. debate is dedicated to you asking questions to the BJP. Now, let me draw the debate back. I want to ask you, and I want to bring in Alimuddin Khan and MR Venkatesh at this point. Alimuddin Khan and MR Venkatesh.
And I think we are here to discuss the larger issue of demonetization.
Yes, we are, and also the strategy.
And that's what we are doing.
Yeah, of course we are.
Why should we not ask? I have a few questions to ask.
Okay, MR, listen to when you respond to it.
Marriage taking place where rupees 500 crores of money was being spent when the common man doesn't even have rupees 50,000 to spend on a wedding. These are all tough questions that the BJP needs to answer. And by choice, I'm saying, I will only make a few statements on the point.
Whether you condemn Congress's statement or not.
You don't have to give me words. I condemn Mr. Retd.
You are providing a platform to Ghulam Nabi Azad, who in fact is glorifying terrorism.
I condemn.
Okay, deviating from the debate again. I'm sorry, I'll just try and bring in the other panelists as well. Let's get into a word. Now, Gaurav Bhatia, yes, there are other aspects to this that must be debated, but please don't try and undermine what has been said and how wrong it was. Because at the end of the day, it is the opposition's responsibility to steer the debate in the right direction. Danish Ali, maybe you want to come in and give us a comment of where your party stands.
Discussing that comment. Tanvi.
Because he's the leader of the opposition and he's made that comment.
Okay.
Now, if the people have put in the responsibility to the opposition to ask the right questions in the parliament, Danish Ali, then shouldn't that be the focus of all parties in the House?
Mr. Ram Gopal Yadav spoke about the plight of the common man and how that common man is suffering.
Yes,
there are other parties also in the Rajya Sabha.
Correct. There are other parties as well, but we are talking about. Okay, I want to bring in two panelists who haven't spoken yet on this debate. MR Venkatesh and Kunwar Danish Ali.
Please come in.
MR Venkatesh and Kunwar Danish Ali. Major General J.D. Bakshi, I'm coming to you next. Okay, because an analogy was drawn today on the floor of the House, and we are debating the analogy. Now, it's so skewed, the analogy, because just consider a scenario. Would the Congress simply accept it as logical if any direct or indirect casualties arising out of a faulty implementation of Manrega, for example, was compared to the Pathankot attacks? Just an analogy. If you're speaking about analogies and how faulty this analogy was, MR, what would your analysis be of what was said in the floor of the House and outside Parliament?
Give me a couple of minutes. I've been hearing this debate for last 25-30 minutes patiently.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please understand, we are talking about 30-40 deaths which has happened, and allegedly people standing in the queue and they have lost their life. Our sympathies, and everybody, every right sense thinking Indian will be with those who have lost their life in the queues. But think of what has happened because of this black money. We rank 55 out of 80 countries in hunger index. Do we ever discuss that? Our North Korea is ranked above us in hunger index. It feeds its population far better than Indians. Doesn't this black money become a primary cause for this amount of hunger in this country? From womb to tomb, we are standing in queues. From education to hospital, we stand in queues. Does this politician do understand that they have created a shortage in the name of Nehruvian socialism? And this is the result that today in this country, for rice to wheat to oil to water to education to hospital, every damn thing we stand in queues. Now we say that these people who are standing in the queues, they are dying. How many people have died in standing in the queues for the ration? Does Mr. Gaurav Bhatia know? Does Mr. Danish can answer that how many people died standing in the queues getting entry into the hospital?
I think Gaurav wants to respond to you, MR.
No, you are...
No, MR, one point. Gaurav wants to respond to you, but also I think I don't think you should. No, MR, but let's not. MR, let's not sort of trivialize the lives that are lost or have been lost in the process of demonetization.
I'm not trivializing this.
What I'm saying,
by Gaurav.
Yeah, I think Gaurav wants to respond to you. Yeah, Gaurav wants to respond to you.
Mr. Venkatesh starts lecturing. We should understand the context in which we are speaking. What are we saying? We are talking about the poor implementation of this policy.
Give me the courtesy.
Danish Ali, just 1 minute, we'll come to you. 1 minute, Danish Ali, wait, let Gaurav respond.
Why do you get tensed here? Listen to me now.
No, Mr.
You have created a country of shortages. Thank you, black money. And you people have done nothing. You have done
go
nothing.
One by one. I will ask you a question.
Except playing cheerleader to the Congress, you guys have never said anything. For last 10 years, when this country was reeling on corruption, you people said nothing. So please keep quiet. Now that is the point I'm making. That you are all party.
Okay, MR Venkatesh, 1 minute.
To corruption.
1 minute, pull back, sir. You've asked your questions, you've made your point. Let Gaurav Bhatia respond to that. Let him respond also. Yes.
Yes. I think first of all, Mr. Venkatesh, I strongly protest. You are not the one to tell any panelist to shut up. Be civilized and listen to what I have to say.
You interrupted, that is why.
Corruption,
I never interrupted you.
Don't use such language. It is intemperate, it is uncivilized.
I have never robbed you of your fundamental right to speak. You interrupted.
Now be quiet.
You want to heckle,
MR and Gaurav, let's
pull back. I asked you a question.
MR, pull back.
Earlier also, Mr. Venkatesh, I will not debate with you. Okay, as a matter of protest, I will withdraw. I will not debate with him.
Okay, MR, pull back. Pull back.
I am sorry.
Okay, MR, pull back.
I don't want uncivilized people who say shut up to the
MR and Gaurav Bhatia, please pull back. Let's come back to the subject. Okay, let's come back to the subject. MR and Gaurav Bhatia, please pull back.
Yes.
Catch your breath. Let me bring in Kunwar Danish with Major General J.D. Bakshi at this point.
I want to make my point.
No, Gaurav, you just catch your breath. You catch your breath. Okay, I want to bring in Kunwar Danish and Major General J.D. Bakshi till then. Kunwar Danish, would you agree that the statement that was made both inside and outside the parliament by the leader of opposition of belonging to the Congress party, the statement made, and I'm just repeating that statement, that our enemies haven't killed so many people which were killed by our wrong policies. Yes, he's right when he talks about policies, isn't it? Because if you have to go by what Ghulam Nabi Azad said, and I have one question to ask, would the Congress accept it as logical if any direct or indirect casualties arising out of a faulty implementation of the farm loan waiver scheme? Let's imagine a farm loan waiver scheme. If a faulty implementation, and God forbid farmers committed suicide, a faulty implementation, can it be compared, for example, to the Uri attacks or let's say the Pathankot attacks? One, do you agree with that? And second, where do you stand? Kunwar Danish.
Niranjan, I hope that you will give me a couple of minutes and you will not reduce my volume. See, just now,
nobody's doing that.
The BJP unofficial spokesperson was talking about the casualties taken place. More than 40 people died in queuing because they are not sensitive for the poor. And what he says today, can I tell you that the whole cooperative sector in this country is collapsed because of this demonetization. There is no money in cooperative banks. The people who are having 3 cows, giving milk to the cooperative societies. They are
One
not
second.
giving back the
Danish Ali,
property. They have nothing to eat. What you are talking?
Danish Ali, you've diverted, you've conveniently diverted. What did I ask you?
Yes.
What was the question I asked you? What was the question I asked you, and what's the answer you're giving me?
No,
This debate, I'm sorry, please don't,
come prepared
Yes,
one minute
I
this
am
answer.
coming to your
come to
answer.
the point. No, don't go down, don't go.
He will never come to the point.
One sec, please come to the point.
Kunwar, you will never give
Danish
this
Ali, you have
answer.
you have limited time, come to the point.
No, I will come.
MR,
to the point.
MR, 1 second.
For
You have
you-
limited point, you have limited
for
time, make your point.
For you, Ghulam Nabi Azad is the point. For me, the common farmer, the poor person who is committing suicide because of
What about the
this
soldier?
wrong policy of the
Kunwar
government.
Danish Ali, what about the soldier?
For you, that
I'm
common
sorry,
man
what about the soldier?
Suffering.
What about the soldier?
Suffering in the villages.
No,
You
what
don't
about the
have
soldier,
priority
Kunwar
for
Danish
that.
Ali?
You have the
Can I
priority
please?
for Rahul Gandhi or Ghulam Nabi Azad.
1 second. What
We
about the
salute
soldier?
our soldiers fighting on the borders. Nobody can
I
nobody
asked
can
you a
demonize
question
them.
about
But
the
at the
analogy
same
drawn.
time,
Please
you
come
have
to
to
the
honor the farmers. No, you have to honor the farmers who are giving us the feed. They are not able to sow the crops because of this. They are
excuse
not
me.
having the
Okay,
money
Danish Ali,
to buy the fertilizer,
Danish Ali, let me
to buy
try and put this around to you
the
so that you
seed.
Can I
understand
please
why
comment?
we think it is so important
Can
to
I
discuss
please comment?
that specific comment. Yes, General Bakshi, I'll come to you. I just want to explain this to Danish Ali. For example, the point that Niranjan was also making, MR Venkatesh also spoke about it. The plight of the farmers, yes. You know what happened during UPS tenure? There was a Manrega scheme. For most of it, it did work.
Have
A
you ever
lot of
discussed
places.
the plight
An
of the
economic
farmers?
policy, right?
And
Ghulam Nabi
times
Azad today's 1 minute. Let me explain my
Anybody-
point. At
and
least
how many times
listen to me what I'm
the
saying, Danish Ali.
problems of the farmers
Even during Manrega scheme,
or any electronic
in the
media.
states of Maharashtra and Jharkhand, there were people who were taking their own lives because of delay in payment of wages. That is one example of a rural employment scheme that was given during UPS tenure. If you're not going to listen to me, I don't think you'll be able to answer my question here or even understand why it's so important to debate this. It is important because if you're saying that the parallel is being drawn about that what Pakistan is doing and the kind of terrorism they're unleashing on the wrong policies of the government, then let's sit and draw the same parallel for when there were deaths and farmer suicides still happening across the country. They still are in the state of Karnataka even now, the highest number of suicides. What about the government policy there? What about the state government's policy, economic policy going wrong there? For example, there was a farm loan waiver announced, one of the biggest schemes that was announced by the UPA in its tenure. The implementation was all over the place. It's the same thing, right, Gaurav, Bhatia? It's the same thing. You all agree with the intention of black money crackdown, but you don't understand the implementation. Their implementation, if it went wrong and people were killing themselves, did you draw this parallel then? Did you draw this parallel then, GD Bakshi? Should we not question them today?
73,000.
Isn't this selective usage?
73,000.
Can I
Yes.
kindly,
No,
kindly,
Danish Ali,
can I
please listen to what
request
GD Bakshi has to say. You're not
politicians
listening to
on
me.
this
Listen to what the
panel-
general has to say.
Some industries
Excuse
have
me.
been waived off. Some corporate houses have been waived off.
Excuse me.
You are.
Don't divert the
That is not stop the plight of the farmers, Danish Ali. That has not stopped the plight of the farmers, Danish Ali. Let General tell you what is going wrong with this comment and why it is important to debate this.
Can I kindly get into this debate?
Go ahead, General Bakshi.
May I point out to you that you spelt out a subject, and that subject of this debate was not the demonetization policy that you are discussing in the next session. The subject of this debate was the trivialization of the martyrdom of the soldiers. We have had politicians before in Bihar who told us that soldiers are paid to die. Why should I go and attend their funerals? It is that which bothers us. It is that which worries us. And again we see that so casually you bring of, Udi, and you compare, tomorrow you will compare them with those who die in accidents.
Nobody is casual here.
Every loss of every Indian life is sad.
No, one second.
But are you, what hurts us is, why do you have to drag in the army? Why do you have to drag in the army? Why do you have to drag in the armed forces? Why do you have to trivialize their deaths? I ask you. This is the same mindset we had heard when the minister from Bihar said, why should I attend the funerals of these soldiers? They are paid to die. It is this mindset of the politicians that you are avoiding discussing today. You are avoiding this discussion.
Yeah. And
you are trying to sidetrack the topic to your own chosen field. Please do that in the next debate.
And the hoardings
Kunwar
along with
Danishali,
the
1 second.
soldiers
Yeah, exactly.
celebrating the surgical strike.
Yeah, you can't complain about that.
Mr. Bakshi, you have never said that.
Kunwar Danishali, 1 second.
Why should you not celebrate the sacrifice and valor of our soldiers?
Respond to him. Please don't respond to him.
Why should you not celebrate the surgical strike?
The sacrifice of the soldiers
do not get drawn. Please.
You are trying to say that wipe it out. We should only talk about you 24/7.
Kunwar Danishali, 1 second. Pull back.
Have you given them the monopoly?
Yeah, 1 second. Please pull back. Please pull back, and Gaurav Bhatia, I'll bring you in. You know what?
What is that?
Kunwar Danishali spoke about changing the agenda. He said, don't change the agenda of the debate. Please don't twist the facts. You know, because I'll tell you who's changing the agenda of the debate. Gaurav Bhatia with... Yeah, Alimuddin Khan, 1 second. Kunwar Danishali, please let others speak. Nobody can... Stop heckling. Danishali, pull back. Danishali, for God's sake, please pull back. Please, let others speak. Please, pull back. Okay? Take a deep breath. 1 second. Alimuddin Khan and Sambit Patra. 1 second. Alimuddin Khan and Sambit Patra. 1 second. Please pull back. Danishali, please stop, yeah. Please pull back. 1 second. Please pull back. I can't shout. I'm not going to shout. Please. 1 second. Because Alimuddin Khan and Sambit, I want Alimuddin Khan to answer this question. You can respond to him, okay? Because Kunwar Danishali and opposition leaders say that the government tried to twist the agenda. I want to ask those who claim that the government twists the agenda by dragging in soldiers, okay? You can't be the messiah of one rank, one pension, right? On one hand, you're questioning the government, saying the government is using soldiers for vote banks. And on the other, you seem to be the champion of one rank, one pension. You're out in the streets one entire week, right? And at the same time, also drag our soldiers into politics. What has the Congress party done, right? You've questioned the government. You've positioned yourself as the champion of the cause of one rank, one pension, and today in Parliament you've done something else. Alimuddin Khan, you've contradicted yourself.
Niranjan ji, I want to ask Dr. Sambit Patra, first of all, is Prime Minister is accountable to the people of the country or not? And people of the country are represented by the parliamentary in the Parliament House.
You want to ask a question?
So why he is not coming to the Parliament House?
Okay. Alimuddin Khan ji, Alimuddin Khan ji, why are you not responding to what Niranjan has asked you first?
Do you know the topic of the debate?
No, I've asked you a question.
Are you not aware of the topic?
No, and you're the same party that makes the cool ki dalali comment.
It is deliberate debate. It is deliberate debate to create
answer my question. Okay, 1 second. Answer my question. I'm not going to shout. Every time I ask you a straight question, you're diverting.
Every citizen of this country.
Alimuddin Khan, I'll try asking you that question once again.
Every citizen of this country, not only to the BJP.
I asked you a question. You're conveniently twisting the debate. You're conveniently twisting the debate.
Dividing, in fact, bringing debate on this. Why you are debating this on television?
Because this is the debate at 9 p.m.
You talk about demonetization. You talk about black money.
Why don't you talk about the comment? I'm asking you some questions on the comment. Why don't you come straight?
BJP always talking. I am coming, Niranjan ji. I am coming.
Okay, 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Alimuddin Khan, make your point in 30 seconds.
पाकिस्तान से 10 सर ला देंगे. अरे भाई आप तो बिरयानी खाने चले गए. आपकी फ्लॉप पॉलिसीज की वजह से ये सब हो रहा है.
मंदिर कहां से आया?
Alimuddin Khan, what
responsibility for that?
No,
बिरयानी कहां से आया?
Yeah, where does biryani come into this?
इलेक्शन से पहले
Why do you talk about मंदिर and biryani? You don't
आपके
understand.
इलेक्शन से पहले जो वादे किए उसके पर डिस्कस करिए ना. आपने इलेक्शन से पहले जो वादे किए उसके ऊपर डिस्कस करिए. आप हर चीज को फ्यूचर में करते हो. गरीबी हटा देंगे. 70 रुपए की दाल
समझ में आ रहा है. करोड़ों रुपए कागज बन गए हैं तो झटका लगा है. उससे ऐसा हो गया है.
No, out of
I can
everything.
understand. I can understand.
No, out of all the
I can understand
Alimuddin
all
Khan.
those 14 lakh crore that the Congress party looted.
Alimuddin Khan.
Trash. And that is the reason.
Okay, pull back. Alimuddin Khan ji. Alimuddin Khan. One second. Alimuddin Khan. Alimuddin Khan, you're doing the exact. Okay, you know what? I know you don't belong to the Congress party. Alimuddin Khan, 1 minute, please. 1 second. Hold on. Pull back. You're making the same mistake. I know you're not here as a Congress party spokesperson, but you're making the same mistake by talking about biryani diplomacy, right? Because you're doing the exact same thing what the Congress leader said. You're dragging Pakistan into the debate. What's the logic? There is no logic to it. What's the logic? Why drag martyrdom of our soldiers into the debate? That's the only limited question I asked you, and you couldn't answer that. Sambit.
Nobody dragging.
Okay, I asked a question was to Sambit. 1 second.
Listening to most of the opposition leaders tonight in this debate. Let me answer.
Let Sambit speak.
Mr. Alimuddin, let others answer. Yes. I've been very patiently listening to the other friends of mine from other political parties. What conveniently these people from other political parties are doing is they're trying to skirt the main political debate tonight. The main political debate tonight is whether what Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad spoke on the floor of Parliament was condemnable or not. Was this comparison between terror funding, Pakistan funding terrorism and martyrdom of our Jawans comparable to the demonetization scheme? Should he have or should he have not? By saying that, no, that issue by Ghulam Nabi Azad is a non-issue. We should not be speaking about that. We should be speaking about other schemes of demonetization. It only shows the insensitivities of these leaders who are present on the panel and their akas otherwise. That means their political leaders as far as martyrdom of Jawans is concerned. No one is concerned about the Jawans martyrdom.
Because Kunwar Danish
because also the point here is Sambit Patra, the point here also is Sambit Patra, they seem to be taking away from the fact of why this cleanup is necessary, and a lot of that has to do with the crackdown on the terror funding. Gaurav, Bhatia, do you not agree that a lot of the terror funds that have come, some of them may have facilitated 2611. Let's not even talk about Gaurav. Let's not even talk about just Uri or Pathankot. Let's talk about 2611. Do you not believe that if the government and the authorities are able to better crack down on terror funding, to choke that source of fake currency, to choke that source of dirty money, and we all know how that works. We've been speaking about it. We've been speaking about the dirty money and the underworld money that's going all around for a while now, and how that's funded terror attacks like 2611. Now we are also talking about the civilian deaths in that case.
Allow me to respond now.
Yes. That's why my question is to you. Do you not agree that we should support whatever is being done to crack down on terror funding?
Let me say this, we are talking about soldiers and we are talking about martyrs. And soldier serves the country. Governments would come and go, political parties are there for the system, but the soldier serves the country. And if we are talking about invoking the valor of a soldier, sacrifice of a soldier for political reasons, then I think Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad was definitely not right in saying so. But at the same time, I am also reminded of the words of Mr. Manohar Parrikar, who is the defense minister, on 17th October 2016. He said, the credit of surgical strike also goes to the RSS. I think it is
Gaurav, that's exactly the point that I was making, right? How is that? How is what any other party today saying a justification?
Allow me to complete.
This is the point that we've already discussed. One, you agree and you condemn Ghulam Nabi Azad's comment and that comparison. But this point we've already discussed. I said it. That why should any political party politicize it? If you had an objection with what Parrikar said, then today's comment should also be critical.
Tanvi, have some patience, please.
As long as you give me my answer on terror funding and crackdown.
I am going to answer that also. I am not a BJP spokesperson that I'll drift away from your questions. I'll answer them. My point is this, that today BJP at least has no moral ground to say anything about Mr. Azad's statement, because they themselves have in the past invoke the valor and sacrifice of soldiers for political reasons, and that is what we question. And I am saying one more thing: there are other political parties who are sitting
Now, who
in the
said that?
opposition
Give
in
me
the
an
parliament.
example of
And we have raised some genuine
of Mr.
concerns.
Gaurav Bhatia. Give me an example where Bharatiya Janata Party has done
Can I
anything
complete
against what
myself?
Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad did today.
Sambit,
No, Gaurav.
Yes, when the defense
you
minister
can complete,
said
but please,
that
please
RSS
give
is
some
the
example to that
inspiration
effect.
for surgical strikes, I think that was very, very inappropriate, and you were demeaning the sacrifice of the soldiers. And I'm sure General G.D. Bakshi will
he
agree
has
with
given
me on that.
100%
That a
credit
soldier fights
to
for
the
the country.
jawans, to the army.
No
He said it
soldier
well.
gets
As
inspiration
far as
the whole
the
point.
Prime Minister and the Defense Minister
No
of this
soldier
country is
in India
concerned, the
gets
only thing common
inspiration
between us
from the
is
RSS.
our
They
RSS
get
ideology.
inspiration from the
Please try to
tricolor
understand.
flag.
Should I
They
remind
get
you of what Azam
inspiration
Khan said?
from
Bharat
the,
Mata Dayan hai. Should I
people of
remind you of
India.
that?
Yeah.
I know
No,
now you are
Azam
feeling
Khan saying Bharat
Mr.
Mata
Azam
Dayan
Khan
hai.
never said that.
I mean, you are trying to teach
I am
patriotism
denying
to
it
us.
categorically. He never used
Yeah.
these words.
Oh,
and
he
today
said
you are
that.
on a weak
Everyone knows
wicket.
that.
That is why you try
No,
to
he has.
always
Azam Khan
don't
has
point
said
fingers
Bharat
at
Mata
others.
Dayan
The
hai.
BJP needs
Azam
to
Khan
mind its
said
ways.
that Kargil
Learn to
victory
respect
was
political
because
parties
of
who oppose
Muslims,
you.
not
Okay,
because of
let's-
Jawans.
opinion.
Remember,
That's the whole point.
Azam Khan had gone
And
to
in
the extent
democracy,
of saying
everyone
that
has the
Kargil
right to
victory-
One
Okay,
second,
see
one
now,
second.
Gaurav Bhatia, this is what happens.
They
I had a
know
question
that
for you,
he-
Gaurav Bhatia, which you said you will answer, but you didn't.
Look what
Now
you
the
have done
debate
to
has
the
turned
common
off in
man.
another direction.
Okay, let's not talk about
Yes.
religion, Gaurav.
You know, Gaurav Bhatia, this was the problem, which is why if you just limited your answer to what I was asking you, we could have
No,
gone
why
for...
didn't you tell Sambit not to interrupt?
Okay, we'll tell you what, we'll tell you. We're
Can I
talking
ask
about...
you that?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, now can I get the answer to that before we move
Now
on?
Mr. Sambit Patra jumps in.
Okay.
All your comments
Because you made a comment that Sambit had to respond to, and he's done that.
Answer your
Honesty will
direct
always
question.
interrupt dishonesty.
Okay, guys. Okay. To all our panelists.
Terror funding, anybody on?
One second.
Patra can't be told by you that you should not interrupt in
Dishonesty
between.
can never win, remember.
Please don't speak over each other.
Dishonesty is when panelists come on time now
Gaurav,
and they
dishonesty
say they
will
are
always
political
be
analysts
interrupted
and
by
they are
honesty.
unofficial
We are with
spokespersons of the
honesty.
BJP.
Honesty
That
will
is
never allow
dishonesty.
This is not a debate on dishonesty.
Dishonesty.
Sambit Patra and Gaurav Bhatia, this is not a debate on
We
dishonesty.
come out
Please
with
let me
you
get in the other
openly
panelists.
your policy.
One second.
You have faulted in
One second.
implementing demonetization, and I think you have failed miserably.
No,
You
I'm
failed the
sorry.
common
This
man.
exactly. I'm sorry. I gave you an opportunity to do that, Gaurav Bhatia. I raised the issue of terror funding and the crackdown on that to ensure no more of 2611 happens. And you did
we
not
have
respond.
stood
You
with the
took it in
government
another
on that.
direction. So
We
don't
have
say
stood
that the
with the
discussion is
government
not
on
on
that. I'm
demonetization
responding.
now.
I will answer.
We have stood with the government. Any measure that they take to crack down on terror funding, we are with the government.
Yeah.
But that does not give them the license to implement something
okay, I wanna
in
bring
a
in-
haphazard manner or loosely without
Yeah, point taken.
preparation.
Okay, point taken. Gaurav Bhatia, point taken. Let me bring in MR Venkatesh and Kunwar Danish Ali. Okay, let's bring in MR Venkatesh and Kunwar Danish Ali. Consider this, Kunwar Danish Ali, you spoke about farmers, and listen to my question before answering. Listen to my question, don't heckle me. 1 second. Where was the high moral ground of the Congress, or where is the high moral ground of any of the political parties who loosely talk about our soldiers, when in the 10 years between 2004 and 2013, when, one example, when the Congress NCP government was in power in Maharashtra, 36,848 farmers committed suicide in this state alone. In one state alone. This is because you spoke about the welfare of farmers. I'm asking you this question. Where is the high moral ground of all these political parties when it comes to you speak about 40 deaths, right? I'm asking you about the political accountability when you have so many farmers' lives being lost. Kumar Danishali, this question to you.
Yes. Niranjan, I am here representing Janata Dal Secular, not the Congress or the NCP.
I'm asking you for
We
a
have
party which
criticized that
claims
at
to
that
speak
time
for the
also, we have
farmers.
condemned that time also. And just a minute. Can you allow me, please? I will answer both questions, yours also and Tanvi's also. Give me a few seconds.
30 seconds.
Can I remind you, when United Front government was there, headed by Mr. Devegowda, was there any farmer suicide? Was there any attack on the borders of this country?
No,
was there
don't.
any communal clash? No. Another
You'll take credit for
question
that.
raised by Mr.
You'll take credit for
Thanvi.
that.
Just a minute, Thanvi, about terror funding. This is the government of India has the report with it. The government of India has the report with it that the total liquidation in the form of cash is 7 to 9% of the black money. Let the finance minister of this country decide. Total liquidation in the form of cash is 7 to 9%. The report is with the government. The government has the report. The government has the report. And out of that 7%, out of 7%, how much can be funded by the terror? Sir, 93% are in the assets or have gone abroad or with
that asset will also be caught. That asset will also be caught. Don't worry. Narendra Modi has got another 2.5 years. He will catch you. Catch all those people who have got black money. So don't worry about it. If you are going agitated that the other part of the asset has not been caught, it will be caught. So don't worry about that will be caught.
The black money has already
Don't worry about it. It will also be caught. I assure you.
It has been
I assure you as unofficial spokesperson of BJP that it will be caught. Don't worry about it.
Speaking about comparisons, MR, while Kunwar Danish Ali is getting very emotional about this, talking about a previous government. One second. Danish Ali, speaking about comparisons, listen to my question.
Directly impacted by this demonetization scheme. MR, why you should be so emotional?
You can deny it.
One second. Listen to my question. MR and Danish Ali.
I'm asking you a fundamental question, Danish Ali. Tell me which farmer has got lakhs and lakhs of money. On one hand, you say farmers are committing suicide. On the other hand, you say farmers don't have money. They don't have money to exchange. What are you trying to say? Put your argument in a logical fashion.
Getting the 10,000 rupees.
Okay, no. There's some technical issues. There are some technical issues in terms of disbursement, MR Venkatesh, which is a separate matter. There's some technical issues in terms of.
I agree that.
Yes, but MR, to the point that Danish Ali has made, and I think you can shed some more light on that, is about what percentage of dirty money is still in cash and how much of that.
I have one submission to make. No, 1 minute, just one submission. This country has reeled on shortages which has killed by millions. Nehruvian socialism has killed and created this black money. And hence, today we must condemn
MR, that's exactly what I want to tell you, right? MR, that's exactly what I want to tell you. When I was trying to make a point.
We are ranked 140 in Human Development Index because of this nonsense of economics. These people
I was trying to
MR, condemn this.
Bakshi.
Killed by the millions. Nehruvian economics is the biggest butcher.
The comparison.
Exactly. Is the biggest butcher of mankind.
To the
Major Bakshi.
That these people who hold their ideology of economics to
MR, listen to the question. Listen to the question, MR.
Why they have killed people
listen to the question.
People by the millions.
MR,
by the billions.
MR, pull back. 1 second. Major Bakshi, that's the question that I was trying to put forward.
Can I kindly make an appeal to the members of this panel? The army is an apolitical institution. Kindly do not drag it into cussedness of politics at the drop of a hat. Every second, third day, we see the martyrs, the soldiers being trivialized and their sacrifices being dragged into cussed political debate. Kindly spare us.
That's the point that I was trying to make. I've been trying to make that point to
come home. Please do so. Leave us out of it.
Gaurav, Bhatia, don't come in 1 second. I just want to make one point. I want to make one point. And I want to make one point with Alimuddin Khan because, the Congress party could have spoken about economic decisions which affected the country as an analogy, right? Because you could have spoken about the emergency days. They could have also used the radical changes that came post the move to open up the economy in the 1990s. Why not draw an analogy to the emergency days? Draw an analogy to what happened post the 1990s in the reform? Why do you have to talk about national security? Why do you have to drag in martyrdom of our soldiers? That's the limited question that we were asking on this debate. Alimuddin Khan, you still haven't answered that fundamental question we asked you at 9 p.m.
Niranjan ji, I want to reply to General Bakshi. During Congress regime, did Congress ever took advantage of the job done by the army on borders? Like BJP did, putting posters in the Lucknow.
Excuse me.
So who is political?
You won the 1971 elections
who is bringing
on the shoulders of that victory.
The politics?
Wasn't being on the streets of for one rank, one pension, wasn't being on the streets, wasn't the Khoon ki Dalali comment. What is the Khoon ki Dalali comment?
On the shoulders of that victory.
What is the Khoon ki Dalali comment? If not politicizing us,
that is
1971 was the 1970 General Bakshi. 1971 war was, sir. Decision of the former our beloved Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi, bold decision, and you appreciate that decision.
That's right.
You know
So,
that
of
what
course
was
she
created,
got the
Bangladesh
credit
was
for it.
created by
She
you,
should
by
get
your
the credit
corporation,
for it.
by the leader, by the
Of
able
course
leadership
she
of
should
Srimati
get
Indira
the
Gandhi.
credit for it.
So
We would like to give her the credit for it.
So now.
yeah.
That's what
Why
I'm
not?
asking, sir. So, in last 10 years, before 2014,
Then why not? Why are you grudging it now?
Ever, sir.
Why are you grudging that credit now?
For 10 years. No, sir, we are not. It is BJP who put posters in Lucknow.
You won the election of 71 based upon the super
Alimuddin Khan, you kind of walked into a trap there. You kind of walked into a trap there, Alimuddin Khan. If you say, and GD Bakshi is agreeing to that, the credit at that time should have gone to the government for taking the bold decision, then in the same way the credit for what's happened a few weeks ago should have also gone to the current government and the current dispensation. But okay, I just want to bring in two other panelists who've been wanting to make a point. Sambit Patra, yes. Sambit Patra, you've been raising your hand. Go ahead. Alimuddin Khan, if it was not politics then why is it politics today if the government tries to take credit? But let's not go into that because surgical strikes is not the focus here. The focus here is the crackdown on black money and who is taking the debate in the wrong direction. Sambit Patra.
Okay.
See, I would just like to make a general medical statement. Since I've been a doctor, there is something called as withdrawal symptom in medicine. If a person into substance abuse is treated by withdrawing the substance, the first thing is going into a kind of blabbering, going into a kind of behavior which is unwanted. And today the opposition
on your face, Dr.
withdrawal symptom of black money. The black money has been withdrawn. अरे अलीमुद्दीन जी, आप शांत रह के बैठिए, थोड़ा सुन लीजिए दूसरों को. ऐसे
ब्लैक मनी तो सरमायादारों के पास होती है. कांग्रेस सरमायादारों की पार्टी नहीं है.
कांग्रेस पार्टी
सरमायादारों की पार्टी है.
बैठिए शांत हो जाइए चिल्लाइए मत. Let me complete.
Alimuddin Khan ji, just hold on. Let him make his point. Please don't speak over each other.
Don't beat around the bush. Let me complete. This withdrawal symptom is not going to help you. Can I please complete? Now, as far as the humiliation of the martyrs by the hands of Congress is concerned, let me always tell you that Congress has always, in fact, sympathized terrorists. Remember Sonia Gandhi crying bucket full of tears for the Butler House encounter specialists? Do you remember Ishrat Jahan was a great martyr for the Congress? But the martyrs are the ones who are to be humiliated. And that's the reason I have always said, Congress ka haath Pakistan ke saath. Because recently we have seen
Okay.
Congress has...
Very quickly, running out of time here. Sambit Patra made your point. Very quickly, running out of time here. Gaurav Bhatia wants to make a point. Yes. Alimuddin Khan and Sambit Patra, 1 minute please. Both of you have been heard. Gaurav Bhatia wants to come in and make a point. We are running out of time on this debate. Gaurav, go ahead.
I'll be very quick. I have a few suggestions even related to the debate. And first, I think, you need to have a Congress spokesperson to defend the statement.
When they are willing to come on the channel, we will get them back. Yeah.
Can I just make my points? I'm just
but the cousin brothers are there. But the cousin brothers are there to defend them.
Yeah.
Multiple cousin brothers.
Like your cousin brother, Mr. M.R. Venkatesh is there. There is a cousin brother, Mr. M.R. Venkatesh, who's there. And Raja Gopalan also comes.
All right, no personal attacks here, please, Gaurav. Running out of time quickly. No personal attacks here. Gaurav Bhatia and Sambit Patra. Sambit, just pull back. Let him finish his other points.
Not to make any personal comments. Yeah.
Gaurav,
second, I just want to say...
Quickly,
I never named anyone.
Gaurav, go ahead.
Cousin brother, why should he
as a matter of protest,
Congress? I never named anyone.
My second also, I am not getting into this cousin brother, that's the terminology you want to use. My second request to you is that it's under protest. Mr. Venkatesh on the last debate called all the panelists jokers, and now again today he said shut up. I just request him, extend civilities to other panelists. That
yes, to all panelists. That goes to all panelists.
And we are here to make our points. we are here to make our points. You might disagree, but in democracy, the beauty is that every person has the right to express himself. And in the end,
I never said shut up.
In the end, I would like to ask.
I never said shut up.
Yeah, I just want. Okay, just wanted to ask, would Mr. General G.D. Bakshi not agree with us that when Mr. Manohar Parrikar as the defense minister invoked the RSS and gave credit to the RSS for surgical strike, that was equally condemnable? I would really like to hear from him.
Okay, running out of time. Major General G.D. Bakshi, quickly, you have the last word, sir. 30 seconds.
Gaurav, I have great respect. Gaurav, I have great respect for your balance and sagacity. I would again kindly reiterate the appeal. Kindly do not trivialize the sacrifices of the armed forces. They are in a political
Absolutely.
See, now that Gaurav, just that is the problem that we've been trying to. Yes, and that is the problem that we have with our political class today.
Mark of politics.
Don't try and take Gaurav Bhatia, don't try and take any of the soldiers on one side. They are not on any political party side. That is the whole problem. Let's not politicize it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I thought General G.D.
So you've got your answer there.
Yeah, and to all our panelists, to all our panelists, the limited point we tried to make on this debate is that crackdown on black money has nothing to do with the martyrdom of our soldiers, and to many other political parties who are today loosely using the word martyr, they need to introspect. Thank you for joining us on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight.